What's up, everybody? My name is Richard Terrell. I go by Kirby Kid, and you are watching DO Live. This is a daily stream show in which we talk about game design. There's plenty of topics in game design, many of which we talk about at random on our Discord. You can find the link to our Discord on our Twitter, which is twitter.com/designoriented, and we have a YouTube channel, which all these stream videos go on that channel after I'm done streaming them. So it's not too hard to catch up or go back and look at things. Right now, I think today we're going to look at Hollow Knight. It's already on the screen. We're gonna look at Hollow Knight. I'm gonna flip my screen over here, and we're gonna talk about its combat design. Did that just like take my screen out? There you go. Cool. So this is the Switch version of Hollow Knight, and for no good reason, I decided to start on layer 3 for my save. No good reason. 26 hours and 44 minutes. I'm eating this delicious smoothie, by the way, but it's almost gone. So, Hollow Knight, the combat, the very basics of it, like, let's see, let me get off all this stuff. You can only change your stuff when you're resting on these thingies, so let me just Dream Shield and Smell You Later. Okay, so this is what your normal bug looks like. I kind of want to go all the way across the map. It's so weird. To activate the map, you like double tap L or something. I need to go all the way down here into the abyss and go down the left. The fastest way to do that is to teleport to the palace grounds, and the fastest teleport from where I am. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Oh yeah, I took off the thing that's my compass. Man, this game's so lame sometimes. I am in the Coliseum, and the Coliseum should be right here, Coliseum of Fools. So the fastest way to get down is not too fast. How unfortunate, but I want to go for it. So we put back on my compass. This is so lame. There we go. And let's just go for it. I should have used the dash thingy. So I guess before things get too hairy, I'll show you a little bit of what the combat looks like in the normal game. Pull out that map and realize we gotta go left, hard left, and down more. That's fine by me. Yep. Until we see blue, and the blue is an elevator shaft. Oops, I just burned my double jump. And then from here, we go right down left, or right down right. I wonder if I still have my fast... I always felt like this fast fall ability... Get out of here. Oh. You can do that, like do a fast fall like that, but I think you still get hit by enemies if they're like any somewhat dangerous. No. Oh, so like you have a basic attack where you just swipe. This is pretty much the entire game. I've increased the range. It used to be much shorter, right? If you can imagine that. This is, you know, decently long. This is what you might expect. Maybe a little longer than what a default normal attack would look like. But you can swing it up. You can swing it left, and when you're in the air, you can swing it down, and that's about all you get. When you swing down, you can pogo. And you know, now I have a double jump. I gotta go right. And then I have the super rush ability, so I got all the abilities from the end game. Might as well save it. Oh shoot! Now like it's a different map than It's a different map than what it looked like before. So like you gotta make sure you kind of orient yourself a little properly. Just lots of little things to disorient you. Did I get it right? Yes. Teleport dash left and down to the abyss. I kind of want to do all the steps to kind of get the true ending right and like kill all the thingies, but that's not what the purpose of this right now is. Right now we're just getting our stuff back. I think I don't have the badge on. I think every time I hit an enemy I get knocked back some. Yeah, look. See how the Hollow Knight gets pushed back somewhat? You'll see a little clearer on the ground here. Anticlimactic. Oh my gosh. Oh, they put me at the top? It's so weird. There's another weird thing about this game. What they decide to checkpoint you back up to the top for. I just want to fly down at high speeds. Maybe I should look at the map. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Oh. Almost there. Nope. I was like, please don't put me at the top. Just because I decide to try to have fun for a little bit, you gotta punish me like that. There we go. A simple option here, you go left. I didn't go left the first time. It's because I was in a new area with no map and I did not know even what my possible exits and entrances were. So I completely missed this on my first time through. Unless I already got it. Wait. Oh, where is my pause? It's so weird. Like, where's my pause menu? There it is. Vengeful Spear, Desolate Dive. Where's my final attack? Well, I guess I don't know where it is. What a waste. So now we're just going to quit to menu. Sure. I hate it when games don't let you, like, not save sometimes. This is so much faster than trying to get back to this point. So I'm back here. I wish I didn't even save here. So now I gotta go left and all the way up. So yeah, these enemies are pushovers. Especially now that I have an upgraded sword. You can upgrade your sword multiple times, I think 4 times total. It kind of makes these enemies that you would otherwise like wail on or I clashed. Clashing is so confusing. Oh, he's gone. Oh. And you have a blast like that. Kill him. I love the design of this little character, dude. Oh no, a guy tried to get me. Okay, so this place is a little bit of a maze, but it's not too complicated. I should have gone here. Blast his face. So every time you hit something with your sword, you get juice, right? Important. This is probably not the right one. Important juice for shooting off your Mega Blast or doing the ground pound from the air, or doing maybe other stuff. I went in the wrong area. It's did not mean to come here. I meant to go here. It's so easy to get disoriented when you don't have a mini-map. And you don't have like large 3D objects to help you keep track of where stuff is. Like, oh, just head to that tower. You don't have that. You don't have anything like that. So back to the Coliseum. Where am I? Okay. Keep getting lost. And it's... You have to exit this thingy early or something. It's good to have a double jump. This hidden Coliseum in the city's now we'll save it here and put back on our gear. I think I'm going with like no gear. So I'll take this off, this off, this off, and this off. So now I just have a strong sword, and every few seconds you get this dark dash, and that's the only invincible one. And yeah. So you have to pick a difficulty. I'm going to start low. So the combat's really simple. As you can see, it's a good thing that it focuses mostly on movement instead of on like combos or whatever else. So like this style of combat here where enemies are a little bit more reactive and they back up and do weird stuff like that. Definitely inspired by, oh, and like sometimes randomly double strike. Definitely inspired by Dark Souls. See, I clashed him right there. These basic enemies don't have a lot of vertical defense, so you can pogo them all day. And I can charge for these special attacks. And I know I'm going to get my meter back by just hitting a whole bunch of them. But the enemies in this game don't take hit stun, as you can kind of tell. It's kind of, like, when you hit them, they just keep doing their own thing. And some of them you can knock back a little bit, others you cannot. So the timing of the enemy, like you'll see here, some enemies have interplay like this. It's cool how this enemy, like you can see the direction I hit the spinning blade back is pretty variable, and it's got some gravity to it, which looks really cool. There's other enemies in this game where it's not the case, and it kind of does a generic reflect, which makes it kind of hard. Oop, I dashed into him. And then you have fly. These are some of the most annoying enemies in the game. Look at this. They shoot a tri-blast just like freaking Concrete Man, but it's so annoying. And then okay, like look at them attack. I'm gonna kill one of them so it's not as annoying. It didn't work. Oh, I missed. Okay, that's another annoying thing about them. So they're tiny. You better not. Okay. Enough time to heal now. Okay, so like look, they're tiny, they're moving around a lot. They like to fly away from you, and then when you get close to them, they like to like slightly change their positioning, which is really annoying. You kind of have to get close to even hit them. They shoot a tri-blast, and the center shot of the tri-blast is always aimed like semi at you. So even if I go up here and like try to get on top of them, like look at that, it goes up, which is ridiculous. The angles, 45 or like diagonal angles in a platformer like this are like the most tricky angles to dodge. Because if you stand still, you can get hit. If you walk forward, you can get hit. If you try to jump, the angle, you could be jumping into the projectile. If you try to walk back, you get hit. The best way to avoid is jumping back. And like because of that, you know, tri-blast, and there's one on top, that can be a little tricky. So these guys are like annoying to keep track of. If you don't have your double jump, these guys are really annoying. And that's what that's first encountered the Coliseum. They were just super pissing me off. That's why a lot of people just try to get a charge attack and destroy them instantly, which is what that is right there. A secret technique with the Great Slash. Or you can do something like that. Okay, so now this is a slightly different situation than what we looked at before. I wonder if I can multi-juggle this. Actually, I've never tried it. Nope. Probably. Okay, I need to be paying attention. Now they're gonna put another enemy, but I have just enough time to charge because it's not paying attention. So like, as you can see, random routines, right? Then he sometimes, I don't know how that slash didn't hit him. It was like right on top of him. There's been several moments in this game where I'm like, this sword is huge, and you go right on top of somebody and it like just doesn't hit. Like I guess the downward is not as big as the sideways. Oh wait, I took off all my augments. I'm like, I swear my thing was bigger than this. Okay, I'm not going crazy. So you can dash away from your hits almost immediately after doing it, right? The enemies sometimes have these routines. I couldn't even see it. Where they attack, and then they attack like again. Oh, not these guys. Oh, come on. And because that little flying enemy's up there, I don't have to worry about it. I can even hit them through the stage. Annoying. So one thing about these enemies is annoying. If you hit them, I think it accelerates their ability to fire back at you. So you could do all this work to close in, hit them, they fire right before you hit them, and then they just shoot another shot. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You're either on a timer or you're not. Shut up. Yeah, a lot of enemies in this game just fly back at you like this. It's super annoying. Yeah, and they do stuff like that. Oh my gosh, my sword's so teeny. Oh my gosh. Wow. See, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Just slightly flying up because he sees me coming. Oh, that's annoying. That's alright. So that special you can pump to keep the blaze going, that's pretty fun. Kill you. So shields kind of work. That's cool how they can block your most powerful attacks. Kill you, I don't like you. Those guys take a lot of hits, but they're kind of fun to ping pong. Only kind of fun. So then the stage can sometimes do stuff like this. And these guys just do this. A nice little simple Metroid sort of bouncing pattern. Almost worked. And then finding the little moments you can heal is pretty cool. Sometimes they really don't give you the time to do it. Sometimes you gotta really earn it. There's a special... These guys kind of go crazy. Oop. Yeah, thanks for trapping me in the corner. What the? How did that miss? I don't understand. Oh, come on. Would you quit hitting me? I'm dying. There we go. So he like randomly decided to charge me multiple times. Let's see what else he does. He like flies around oddly, has a very little tail, and then he like stops oddly too. Like I thought he was gonna keep going past me. Super annoying stuff like that. But I guess he just stops when he hits the ground. Yeah, when your game has contact damage like this game, you have to be really careful because enemies just being in a space is already threatening. And if they move unpredictably or move too quickly and do whatever else they're trying to do, they're like doubly attacking, and it's really annoying. You try to jump over an enemy and they jump, you're like, that's really annoying. And Shovel Knight did a thing where you can hold down, and no matter what happens, you'll bounce off the enemy or hurt them, and then in that brief moment, you can't be hurt. So you're like, oh, it's like a safety net. Even when you're entirely inside of an enemy, you hold down, perfectly clean. Good solution. This game has no such solution. So there's a clashing system in this game too that you might try to depend on, but then again, they keep the hurt boxes of the bodies, the contact damage, intact. And it's really hard to get a clean clash and hit, and the enemies don't flinch anyway from attacks, so they're going to be doing their own stuff anyway. So this is level 2. Smoothie. So as far as the basics go, a lot of little things that annoy me. Kind of like the self-knockback. The sword just kind of being too small. This is too small. At least you can recover quickly after it. So check out this enemy, okay? Okay, cool. So you hear the sound effects. Then you can either jump back slash, it looks like, or do a charge. Looks like that's all he's got. And he can randomly go in between those. And he has a normal slash. Let me try to clash. What? I hit that button before he landed. Oops. Oh god, so annoying. So annoying. I'm just gonna stop. Okay, stop. Okay, then he just like decides to walk in my face, and he almost jumped and hit me like super. If I didn't have invincibility on that dash, he probably would have hit me, which is super annoying. Just him stopping in different places is super annoying, and his sword is huge. Like, look at that. Look how big that is, and his sword doesn't look that big. Oh, come on. See, like, then what is it hitting if not clashing my sword? Do I have to hold up? There, I held up and did it. But the clash does not help me at all for being how hard this is to pull off. Let's see if we can. So these are flying enemies that are kind of jerks. Similar like keep away flying that you see on a lot of the flying enemies. But these have these little dash routines that you kind of saw on that last enemy. See, I hit him with my most powerful attack. He just gets knocked back a little, and then he immediately goes into his attack because he was about to attack anyway. They're all he's, by the way. Yeah, thanks for getting my face. Okay. Yeah, at least you can dash like afterwards and like do stuff like this. Oh. Why are you in my face? See, like how when I tried to climb over him, he's like, "I'll climb too." Like, super annoying. That was it. Oh, these guys are kind of annoying. They have a tiny tail when they're about to dash, like their nose is curling. But it's not, it's so fast. I'm trying to get my like super lightning fast sword out, it's not fast enough. Oh. I'm trying to do that. They make like a super faint sound effect, and I'm kind of listening closely. You're annoying. Look, you just fly away. You're like fighting an annoying Smash Brothers player. Okay. And then look what happens when you hit them when they fly in. Let me see if I can pull it off. Nope. Nope. It was fast, but too fast. and he reverses. So that's pretty cool. Like these are especially tuned enemies. The other enemies will just keep like doing whatever they're doing. I don't like you. Whoa! Barely got around that one. That guy almost flew. Oh, come on. Whew, not those guys. So now you're going to see a bit of the multi-enemies layering up. That was a little unfortunate. Okay, now they're just going to... Okay, probably got to get out of here. That was so close, and I still hit the spikes. Right, so trying to find some moments of peace where you're like, I'll heal here. Kind of cool trying to find those moments. The camera is not so forgiving, right? Good thing I can one-shot these guys. Like, I can't see what's happening off the screen, so I have to hold down. Like, holding down is not too bad. You can do it at any time you're on the platform. It takes a little longer to do it on a platform than it does just doing it with the C-stick. So if you've been getting around this guy before, now you're on a small platform with him. You're annoying. Oh! Oh! Oh, come on. I hate that stupid enemy. Oh, it's Daniel Prime in the chat. I need to do better at looking at the chat. The fact that you can jump already makes the combat much more spatial than Castlevania, which has a lot of 1D ground-based relative spacing. That's true. The controls look really sensitive and twitchy. What's a white smear for the slash strikes in terms of clarity? So like, you know, this, you can see this, the sword swings pretty clearly here. Enemies, their swipes I feel like they're inaccurate. Mine are like super conservative. Like when I swipe and barely miss, it's barely miss. But the enemies, that's my shade by the way. It has all my money and half of my meter in it, so I have to go get that. Conveniently placed right there, which is cool. I guess I'll show you level 2, but I'll show you with some augments. So I'm gonna do, makes it easier to escape from danger, more invincibility, you don't need it. Increases the soul gain when striking an enemy. This is a cool one, so like you just have more power. Greatly increases the amount of soul gain when striking an enemy, which is cool too. So we're gonna combine this one hopefully with this one gives you more sort of power and range, which is really cool. This one knocks enemies back further. This one keeps you from getting self-knockback, which should be default in the game. Spell Twister, reflecting desires, improves the bearer's ability to cast soul, reduce soul costs. So we're gonna spam projectiles. We're gonna build this build, and what increases projectiles? Then Daniel says, one of the problems with Symphony of Night is that the sprites are so decorative that it can be hard to identify movement of enemy avatar limbs and respond. It doesn't really even look like the sword fighting, more like sparklers going off. Would you say that the sword fighting is hard to convey cleanly from a side-scroller perspective? I think almost everything is harder to convey in any 3D perspective, so pick a 2D top-down or side-scrolling is probably going to be easier to convey stuff, just because it's 2D. Some of these are really convenient, but I want one that makes my spells stronger, increase the power of spells. So we'll do this one. Probably don't want to do that. You can break your menu like that. We're just gonna get more powerful spells. And what do we want? Let's get the Dash Master, because you can dash downward. Okay. So now you can see my sword is still like the same stubby thingy. Next build we'll go with a sword strike build. And we'll see how powerful we can make each sword attack. I shouldn't have died. don't like how the explosions in this game linger. Right. Sometimes you barely can jump over them. The explosion, you land on top of it. Like, when can you land on top of an explosion? You tell me. I don't care. That's super annoying. You hit him with a really powerful attack and just in the flash like comes right back at you. So then you have to like backdash everything just in case. Oh, that guy has such big range. Okay, not doing so well. That's fine. Oh, he's just right in the stop. Nice. So I have lots of come on, you curly. There you go, curly-eyed nose. See, nice big range for this. And the lingering hitbox for this great slash is actually way more frames than your normal slash. Which is like, oh, come on. I'll take it. I hit the jump button, but I think I'm still in the freeze frame. That's the only downside of using that slash. You're kind of like stuck in place a little bit longer than you want to be. Man, sometimes I feel like the strike's so close. Like, why did I lose? Like, I lose in more trades that I feel like are necessary in this game. Maybe there's like some kind of input delay. Some people have said something about something. Not really my problem right now. Oh, come on. You can... I just need to survive one more. Nope. I blew myself up here. That's really annoying. Okay, these guys are super annoying. I don't like these hockey jerks. Oh, I hit the dash button and nothing happened. Cool. So you're either gonna spend your hard-earned soul slash juice on killing enemies, or you're gonna spend it on... Oh, that guy's a lot stronger than me. Okay. Did you accelerate? Yeah, he changes different heights, and I think that changes when he lands, so he can't accelerate by jumping shorter. He had really fast movement anyway, so that made that harder to discern. That was a trick. A lot of times when the enemies layer up like this, where there's multiple, it takes what would be a somewhat pretty much fair and kind of annoying fight if they run away a lot or don't decide to attack on their random cycles to some pretty unfair situations, like mostly unfair. I wonder if I can reflect the mosquito into that guy. No. Oh, so I didn't kill him. See, that didn't clash either, which is strange. I got a constant hitbox, that right? No? So this is cool, you can start going vertical on this guy. Kind of spam when he really doesn't have vertical defense. But then now the ground's all spiky. He adjusted? He's so fast. My sword's so not adequate. Oh, come on. Oh, thanks for flying away. Oh, thanks for being a jerk. Yep, thanks for coming up from under me. I should not charge them. Okay, this is super annoying. Thanks for not deciding to attack. Rounds back. Really had no time to charge it. So one decided to charge, one decided to chop. That's fine. That's fine. As long as you have a double jump, things are a lot. You know, if you have this dash too, it's a lot easier. But when you don't have either of these things, you're like, I probably should go get some upgrades. Oh. I messed that up. Didn't want to pick mine. Oh, so weird. I hit you. I'm in trouble. Oh, come on. I double jumped to the top of the screen. The camera doesn't even go high enough. And then that little lamp was in the way. Like, come on. Get these foreground elements out of my face. Yeah, there's a lot of cases where you're kind of just chasing the enemies all over the place and kind of like waiting for them to do something. Which is funny because that's like typifies Dark Souls combat in a nutshell. Just like I don't think people have found, for the most part, a really good compromise between trying to make enemies that are somewhat reactive and then enemies that aren't just annoying sort of defensively optimized obstacles. So what's my favorite thing to do? So I don't like this little spell build. The reason I don't like it is because it's so hard to hit people with the blast, and my blast isn't upgraded, so it's not big and it's not as fast or whatever. So this is stupid. This is stupid, and this is stupid. I didn't even do the dash down, which I'll show you. With Dash Master you can dash down, which is only when you have this. Might be useful, but I don't care. So we're gonna do increases amount of soul gain when striking an enemy. You kind of don't need that if you have stuff like this. Stuff like this. You know, we can heal faster with this, or we can hit things with our Dream Shield. We need more damage, so let's go with more damage. Hitting things less. And long nail, why not? Like, increase the length. And Grub Song is cool because you gain soul by getting hit, which means you almost always have it when you need it. This one you get more when you hit things. So now I'm covered in this nasty smell, but this nasty smell hurts enemies. Do you think the RPG elements enhance the combat? For this game there aren't any RPG elements, but there are upgrades. So for a single player game, I don't really think there's such a thing as cheese. Even though there is. Like, for the most part, if you find a strategy that seems to work really well, just do it. And then when you're tired of it, stop doing it. A lot of people get bent out of shape when they have to stop themselves from doing something that's ruining their own fun, which sounds completely, well, reasonable when you're in charge. But hey, people are weird sometimes. But yeah, there's a review I listened to that said upgrading your nail to the most powerful one makes the game too easy. So don't do it. But yeah, like power creep, trying to control the strength of the game. So now I'm on challenge number 3, Coliseum 3. I don't know why the projectiles move as fast as they do, too. Oh, wow. I hate how that like doesn't prevent them from at least attacking you through all that madness. I just don't like it at all. Oh. Oh wow, he died and threw it. Come on, quit flying away. That's so annoying. They're annoying too. So, and then when I charge it, it emits this poison gas that's poisonous to enemies, so that's pretty cool. These guys only fire. Look at that! They have this like fire back thing where if you hit them right after they fire, they just get like reset. So they get another chance to fire. It's super annoying. You want to just randomly juke again, you piece of trash? Oh, I forgot those guys explode. I couldn't even see them through this my own smoke. Great. This one's kind of funny. Again, fell on a lingering explosion, gets me every time. These guys are super annoying. They're weird jumping patterns. They remind me of the things from Rhythm Heaven, the Ippon Upboon guys. And like this is where the camera issues start to become like a bit of a problem. Where you have these enemies that have these huge arcs and they jump so erratically and they vary their timing so much depending on which direction they go, and then they can jump off screen and then you can't like reflect them if you have good reflexes. Oh my gosh, see, I could barely see that the guy landed on the wall. But at least this one shots him. This is a nice angle for me. Choose whatever you want. Oh. Yes. I don't know why it gets. It's because they're like moving into me, and it's really hard to sort of gauge that distance when I think my sword strike is fast. It's not. Oh my gosh! You see that tri-blast he shot like was perfect. Oh my gosh! Get me out of this! Oh my gosh! No! Oh my gosh! Why? Oh my gosh! That's probably why you shouldn't play with the analog stick. Yeah, so I think the Coliseum layers 1 and 2 are well designed. Now I don't like a lot of the setups in 3 and a lot of the enemies that you find in 3. And I've seen how other people deal with it, and they get a ton of health and they get really strong power-ups, and that's one way to do it. If you don't do the power-ups, you're just too weak and you're hitting things a lot. and you're kind of playing chicken a lot. You're playing like an extreme turtling strategy, which is no fun. Camera issues are no fun. Trying to hit something off the screen or figure out in what way it does its random flight pattern mess you up if you can't see it. If you try to hold charge, shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that's that diagonal thing, just chasing me down just because it's at the perfect angle. Again with the dash, why? I barely got out of that one, jeez. There's no way we traded there. Quit trading. Get on the screen, please. Missed. Annoying. See how he keeps firing after you hit him? So annoying. Oh, come on. I'm not paying attention. Random movement, random fire rate, and then random, not random, retaliate shots. Great. And then you just want to hang out in the corner. That's cool. The strat for this is just to hang out. And make sure they get killed by the explosions. Oh, I did it again! Did that hit him? Trades are so weird when the enemies don't get knocked back or flinch. You're like, did that even hit? So much safe strategy. Wow. Wow, see that angle? Ridiculous. Later, Daniel. Huh, I got some soul for that. Cool. Come on. See his random variable speed. Let's see, slow, medium, fast. Oh, he died off my gas. That's fine. Oh my gosh. These perfect angles sometimes. Okay, you want to just be annoying? Thank you for not dying on the gas. Oh, cool. That makes no sense. We clashed twice in there. My goodness, quit. Stupid flying thing. Those sights are so annoying. Thanks for flying back. Thanks for jumping back randomly there. Oh my gosh, why? So thanks for jumping. That's close. Oh, the teleporty guys. I like to shoot projectiles that home you, even though you try to dash away. Great. Oh, come on. And they vertically fly. So annoying. I have to do up slashes to get them, I guess. To trick them. Or do something like this. Oh my gosh. That was so close. Oh my gosh, the hugest lunge ever. Thanks for teleporting. Thanks for backing up. Thanks for teleporting. This guy makes electricity follow you. He teleported. I feel like they... Oh my gosh. They make these jumps super annoying where your biggest jump only hits like the sides of these panels. Super annoying. Oh my gosh, just let me get down. Ah! I knew that was gonna happen. So I don't have enough health to basically deal with these guys. What the? Come on! Really? You kidding me? Die! Please! Ah! Okay, there we go. Now he has one too. Ugh, so annoying. I probably should have just 1v1'd him, but come on. Like, so like this is the problem. When you make enemies that layer like that because they don't take up each other's space, they have no problem hanging out with each other, their attacks don't clash, their shields don't clash, but all your stuff loses in priority to just a single enemy. Then you put them both together, like, hey, this enemy has a projectile that homes you really hard. And when you jump, it like comes back around like really fast and it barely tries to collide with the environment. Then you have them shoot multiple out there and then you have multiple of them. Like just getting around one enemy with his random stupid patterns is hard enough, especially when you get your advantage and it doesn't actually flinch him. Like the enemies probably don't delay their counterattack almost at all from a sword hit. Maybe like a few frames. So there's only, when you have to play defensively and reactively so much for a single enemy, you put two enemies in there and it just collapses all of your sort of meaningful space and your fair ways to approach it. And then you're either going to be running away a lot and like barely finding openings instead of actually working out openings. Like you saw those fireballs coming in, and I barely survived by doing a wall slide that's slightly going down and slightly going up. Like it's intense, but you could have that same level of intense gameplay with slower projectiles and enemies that didn't teleport so aggressively or fly away right when you get close, because this is all you have. And you think this like dash closes in the distance? It doesn't, because you fly straight at the enemy and you get hit. I got hit by a lot of enemies that were like, I'm just gonna randomly back up. Like, okay, so then I have to avoid your entire area when I'm trying to evade. And you're like, oh, use your projectile. Sure, it's not very fast. It doesn't, like the basic one doesn't come out very fast. And then it's small, and enemies just go, oh, you're trying to jump to level off with me? I'm just gonna fly a little higher. And then the projectile usually misses. So it's like, what is this? So for basic combat, like this game doesn't have a lot going on. The cool part is things can get kind of crazy and complex when when multiple enemies are around, or like, you know, mixing and matching their different fighting styles. So like those flying mantis are super annoying, just flying back. Then they shoot a scythe that has this really stupid curve that comes at you and then flies away. So already the scythe's hard enough to avoid because it homes in on you, and then it slowly moves at you and then rises. That's already the whole troubling diagonal projectile issue, but then it rises back up, so it's like doubly so. The whole thing is long, so you can't like easily hop over like you can a lot of these small projectiles, and then the thing can't be clashed, right? So like if I can't, like you saw those fat guys when they throw those blades, you can just slice them back. Pretty cool. That means even if you layer a bunch of fat guys, as long as I do my timing correctly, I can hit back multiple blades, and it's worse for them and better for me because I use this skill-based counter attack. But these scythe enemies, these flying mantis, they don't have anything like that. So you're like, avoid, and then what's worse is I think the projectile starts fast, goes slow right where you are, and then rises up fast. So if you try to jump and kind of get away, it's like, I'm chasing you. Like, are you kidding me? I'll try it again. So I probably should have the ability that charges my soul faster, because I realized in some of those late parts, I'm like, I could just use like a full second more instead of waiting here. True, I'm not gonna do it yet. But yeah, so like you can take the basic design of a lot of these enemies, and you can see how much they like push the player back. And you're like, oh, well, if you get pushed back horizontally, you're a player that has, you know, double jumps. Now you have a double jump. I didn't have it when I first played this. And now you have this, like, crystal dash, which is pretty good for getting around the environment. I don't think you can wall jump on the stadium when it gets too high. Maybe you always get, like, this stuff is hard to wall jump on. But you can do this if you need it quick. Yeah, and look, this stuff can't wall jump on it, but you can go higher on the other side. I did not know that. Did not know this. A little higher on this side than that side. So we'll just try avoiding these guys. And hitting the some of the ways that these inputs don't buffer, it's kind of I don't like it. It should be a little smoother for a game this simple. So then I'm going to try to demonstrate the clashing system. Like, okay, so now there's two enemies. One charges, but they're not like coordinating to make sure that the situation is fair. But with just two of these guys, one's fairly simple. So this is completely manageable. I don't know what they could do that wouldn't be fair, because every time I go in the air, my perfect defense for the blade is cutting it, and that fat guy can't jump or attack vertically. So like, oh my gosh, he threw that behind his head. Oh my gosh. I don't know why they give the enemies like these huge lunges, fast lunges, and huge hitboxes, and then yeah, huge swords. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I need the big sword. I'm fighting multiple of you guys, and your bodies are already a huge sword. Oh, I dashed. So playing with the analog stick is so bad, because I tried to do a flick and dash and like just didn't come out. So that was pretty cool. Finding the moment to use those powerful attacks, pretty cool. These enemies, like I said before, have good interplay. You can always reflect them. Oh, these enemies, they're stupid fire shots, too fast, too homing, and they're too flying at annoying angles, they track you too hard, and you can't hit them back. Like that? Not really a big enough gap for me to fit through. Annoying. Oh. Oh, he just stopped right underneath where I was going to jump. Good thing I had a double jump. I don't like it how you take this whole time to charge your attack or your health, and then they don't let you jump immediately when it's done. I don't know what. So like these special abilities are pretty cool and powerful, but they don't clash anything, which is like maybe that's a decent enough trade-off. But it's really weird when like, how did you attack through my like huge slash? Like, what did you do? That was annoying. So these guys, we already saw their sort of random routine, and the fact that they fly away from you is kind of doing weird things is annoying. The fact that these guys home in on you and then fly underneath you and like try to immediately come back up, super annoying. Like, quit homing, dude. Homes? Almost fell into the explosion again. Oh, these guys are, I just feel like this is a waste of a wave. These guys are just really. I mean, it's cool that you get to heal off of them because they're pretty easy to survive. Oh. Okay. That was close. He landed right behind me, and then the odor got him. Now I'm farting everywhere. See, I knew the angle of that one, and I barely snuck underneath for my sword strike. That was super precise. And now there's more of these jokes. I wish they wouldn't have a body box right after you hit them. That'd be pretty cool. Be pretty much more manageable. Get back here. Can't have more than two of you on the screen. I'll just take this time to heal and kill him with the gas. Get in the gas. There you go. And now the worms are coming. Teleport guy? Oh, he backed up. Thanks for backing up. Oh, stupid diagonal angle. Please stop doing that. He attacked straight up at me. Great. Thanks for jumping, you piece of trash. Ah, it's so hard to tell when it's going to randomly shoot them because it's random. Oh, thanks for backing up. Incoming scythe, it's gonna be annoying. Oh, didn't they just adjust their aim like way too easily? I heard my sword strike come out. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on! Come on! Yeah, that invincibility, it's not long enough for crazy junk like that. And giving you a charm that should be default, I don't like that at all. But yeah, it's just a little look at Hollow Knight's enemy design. You know, a decent attempt, but I found most of the encounters and enemies in this game to be annoying and not nearly as sort of fun and engaging as it should be, right? Even with really sort of tough enemies, you kind of have to play to the strategy, and even if you want to play to the other strategy, it's still pretty straightforward. Kind of like Castlevania, where you walk up and whip, back up, whip, stuff like that, but it's Hollow Knight. Camera issues, enemy speed issues, interplay issues, layering issues. But then when it all clicks, right, or when you have enough firepower to just like eliminate your most annoying foes quickly, which I'm missing an ability, it works a lot better. When you have a double jump, it works a lot better. But some other complaints about this game was you start off with too few of the necessary / good abilities, and you play too long before you get them. So yeah, but this is late game, so that really doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what else do I want to say? The clashing is super inconsistent. The trades are usually out of Hollow Knight's favor. I don't know why the enemies need to like swipe so fast and so far. It's cool that everyone has swipes for their attacks for the most part, so you're like, oh, that's clearly when they're attacking, and I can clearly tell when they're not, except for when they're just like moving their body into me all the time. Yeah, the dash is set, right? So you can't do... Oh, that was funny. You can't do like a shortened dash. There's nothing you can do to cancel it. So you oftentimes dash straight into danger because they will have a random movement pattern. And if you're just trying to move because you have to, you only have so many abilities to get around things on the ground and so many abilities to get around things in the air. And unless you want to just hug the walls all day, it's a little annoying. And, you know, for a game simple, I always say when your game is simple, you really have to nail these things. You really have to make sure that these things don't happen. And like a lot of people don't think much of like a lot of Mario Brothers mini bosses and stuff like Renzor and like Boom Boom. Those bosses are clean and they don't make any mistakes. And the 3-land bosses are cool too because they revive Boom Boom and his sister, friend, whatever. They layered up well together and they didn't create cheap challenges, but it was interesting putting them both together and you can use one to counter the other or whatever. Fun. This stuff has more holes than it should. I appreciate them creating a hard gauntlet for the last, you know, Coliseum challenge in the game, and I appreciate that they're going to throw a bunch of stuff in there because they already gave you two much more balanced, much more manageable difficulty levels here. So whatever. Look how big this is. And just before it's about this big, so you have to get this close to enemies. And because the enemies kind of like move randomly and they jump randomly and their hitboxes are a little weird and Hollow Knight falls so quickly, I feel like every time I want to pogo off something, I'm like colliding with it. I'm like, what's the deal here? Like, is it my feet are further down than it looks? Is it my blade doesn't come out as fast as I think? Because it looks fast, it just doesn't come out fast. Every time you pogo off something, you get your air dash and double jump back. So that's about it. Let's rest and end this thing. So we can look at more aspects of Hollow Knight before or later, but pretty much every aspect of its design has like some really good core solid elements and then just holes everywhere, right? Just like holes and holes and holes, and that's why I give the game mostly just like a 7, right? I usually don't talk about number scores, but I think the 7 is a really accurate way of trying to get to convey what I mean by like how the little holes add up. So like this game has so much solid design, then all of a sudden like a little hole here, dock 2.2, 0.3, 0.1, and then it just drags the whole score down in my mind to a 7. I did a little exercise where I listed all the things that would make it to where my personal score would go from a 7 to like a perfect 10, right? Because some people are like, oh, perfect games, they're not possible. And some people say this game's perfect, they're dumb. Some people say that this game dethrones Super Metroid, dumb. But otherwise, like, it's cool to talk about specifics, where it's like, what specific things would have made the difference for you, and we'll get to that in another stream. That was just a little look at the combat. So until next time, guys, peace.